Well, hello. Welcome to our world. This is the Black Entrepreneurship Live show, and we're excited to be here with you today. This is the second show of 2021, and we could not be more excited about what's happening so far in 2021. So we're excited for you to be here with us tonight. And folks, I just want to say that tonight is going to be about some Louisiana goodness up in here. And if you want to talk about and you want to hear about and you want to experience good food, you know, you got to go to Louisiana, right? I mean, I know the other states have some food and all that type of stuff, but there's nothing like Louisiana goodness. So are you guys ready for a good show tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So before we bring out our guests and introduce them, so tell us a little bit, Angela, what's happening with our boot camp that we started last week?
Well, we are officially in week 2 of the Black Entrepreneurs Institute Business Boot Camp for minority business owners. And let me just say, every cohort has its own personality, and this one does not fail to meet that expectation. We have some diversified business owners, but specifically, we have people who are really looking to use 2021 as an opportunity to elevate both their mindset and their money, and to do so with our proven successful boot camp.
Awesome. And Damien and I today were with our Emerald group, and Emerald is our previous graduates of the boot camp. And today, Damien was helping them. Damien, tell them a little bit what you was helping them with today.
So today we focus specifically on email marketing, because what people don't know, Cedric, is that email marketing, you got, if you're in the space and you're building a business, you have to have a list. You have to have a way to go directly to your clients. And email marketing, as I showed them today, produces a 4,400% return. So that means for every dollar spent, you can make $44 profit. So if you're missing email marketing, you're missing the boat. And we're helping our graduates of the boot camp take their business to the next level. And so we unpack some great strategies today.
Awesome. That's exciting. Always fun. So Dr. Nick, you know, you're all about the youth. So tell us one thing that a youth entrepreneur could be doing in 2021.
Yeah, great question. And funny, I was actually just on with a youth client, and she was sharing that she was working, and because of COVID, that she got laid off. She's a recent graduate, and she had to shift, and she wanted to start her entrepreneur journey. And she started branding, and she started just kind of jumping out there. And she said she's just feeling stuck. So my thing was to her is to get a plan. Get a plan. And I think that's where we want to start with the basics, going back, laying that foundation, making sure you have a plan and direction on where to go. So starting with a business plan right there. I think that would be the number thing. Get a goal and get a plan.
Well, that is awesome. Yeah. So folks, tonight, man, I'm excited about tonight. You know, anytime we talk about Louisiana, I'm just excited. But tonight we have some guests in studio that I'm excited to introduce to the audience. So let me bring them on here. Well, hello there, Mike and Amber.
How y'all doing?
Hello.
So let me introduce Mike and Amber Higginbotham. So tonight, again, folks, this is about Louisiana. This is even more about Louisiana. This is about Lake Charles natives that are doing some wonderful things in the entrepreneurial space. So Mike and Amber Higginbotham are owners of Louisiana Soul Seasoning. That even sounds good when you hear it, right? Louisiana Soul Seasoning.
Got a good ring to it, right?
Yeah, I like it. And I'm hungry too.
They were both born and raised in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Mike and Amber have a strong passion for cooking meals and making memories. So they created a seasoning blend that will make you want to keep cooking and getting back in the kitchen. So they were brought to Texas because they live in Texas now. But they were brought to Texas. But what they say is Louisiana will always be home. So we're excited to have them here. They started showing people how easy it is to prepare great Louisiana meals on their Facebook page in March of 2020, right at the beginning of COVID, folks. And then all of a sudden they built this following. I mean, they have a cult-like following, and when they go live, all of a sudden you start seeing the people just shoot up in terms of being there, right? And so with that, my point of pointing that out is to focus this. See, in the middle of a pandemic, you can say, woe is me. Or you can say, come along with me on this journey and build a business. And that's what Mike and Amber did. So let me stop talking about them and let's welcome them to the show, and let's let you hear from Mike and Amber.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to have you here.
Yep.
So, Mike, what really made you decide to become an entrepreneur?
I guess, just wanting to have something of your own. So like, to me, people, right? A lot of people have things passed down to them, right? Well, I didn't. So I figured, I need to do something to be able to pass down to my kids, and then it'll be something for them to have and be proud of in the future, Like my parents didn't pass down much to me, or won't, they don't have a business or anything, or any kind of legacy to like a big legacy. So we're gonna try to build this and make it an empire, and
Something for
hopefully
them to continue.
continue doing, and to be able to remember us, and then like the Fords and all these big companies, it's all family. Passed down, like Kellogg, just like any business, most of them are passed down for generations and generations, and it's got to start somewhere. So might as well be here.
Well, that is awesome. I'm gonna ask you one more question, and I'm gonna turn it over to my colleagues. So, when I watch the show, and folks, you got to tune in to Louisiana Soul. If you go friend them on Facebook so you can get the notification when they come on. So here's what I see, right? So Amber comes on first and says, "Hey, we're here, we're live," and she says, "Mike, now it's time for you to cook." Right? So then Mike cooks, and then Amber gets to taste it all.
Sounds like my kind of show.
Yeah. There was one dish, and I'm talking about it a little bit. There's one dish that I gotta try, which is called the Monte Cristo or something.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite.
Yes, which I heard you say a couple of weeks ago is your favorite. So, but let me stop talking. Nicole.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that you're talking about building a legacy and building an empire. So what gave you the idea to start a cooking show? Why a live cooking show?
Well, when we first started, we developed the season in 2017. A lot of it, I think, was just fear of other people's opinions. And once I got beyond, there's going to be bitter and sweet. And I mean, I still have a battle with that now, but it's just self-doubt. And once you get beyond that, it's like, hey, you're going to find the support. And if we're not showing them how to use our seasoning, then who will? Right. Showing them, what can be done with our seasoning. It's beyond just the seasoning.
Yeah, like how many people just like are drawn in, and like we get literally it's like she done got 10 grandmas now, These old ladies be messaging her all day. She's like, look at this, and it's like, but I mean, scrolling, they're just like conversation. Like we don't know these people from, they just watch us on Facebook, and it's like.
I think the biggest thing is that in March we were sitting still, so it's like, what can I do with this time that's productive? I mean, I might as well. So
what else is there?
Started cooking.
That is inspirational for a lot of people and for ourselves as entrepreneurs to just know that there's something now that can be done and you can build a business. So let us know how the show is aired, when is it, and how do people tune in?
Well, you can find us on our Facebook, Louisiana Soul. We don't have a schedule for our lives at this point. It's a learning progress for us. Michael still has a day job, so this is our side business. So, and I think the reach with our viewers, I can do it alone, but I think they respond to us more when we're together. They love seeing it. So if I'm in a video by myself, they're like, "Where's Mike? Where's Mike? What's wrong? Where is he?" So we haven't developed the schedule, but we're working on it. We're generally on twice a week. Every weekend we come on, and at least one day during the business week. So we generally give it a heads up. Hey, we're about to go live. If it's spur of the moment, we'll do that. So at least twice a week you'll find us live on Louisiana Soul, and we tend to post some videos on our YouTube page as well. Sorry, real life.
Hey, no worries. That's what makes it good to see that you're real people, right? You're real everyday people living their lives and doing some great things. And I love the fact that you talked about the impact that you're having. So when you think about getting up in the day as an entrepreneur in the morning, what makes you smile to get going?
Everything. The messages we wake up to, the emails we wake up to, the orders we wake up to. We get so many messages of just saying like, we love seeing y'all. Just we tell each other all the time like, people like us, and it's exciting. So that's what makes us happy. And the other part of it is, we're providing for our kids. We have 4 children, so we're providing for them. We're blessed to say that we weren't really affected by the pandemic as far as Mike's job, but it's another stream of income for us. So all of it makes me happy waking up in the morning.
Speaking of incomes, like just for anybody out there, you never know what somebody else wants, right? If you want it, guess what? There's probably 10,000 or 100,000 or 1,000,000 people that want the same thing you want. Just go out there and provide that service or that item or that whatever it is. Don't be afraid,
Because they're making us happy, and
people want it. Like people were coming to us and telling us like to do these videos, So it's like
Wow, that's so interesting that you met the market demand. But I gotta ask you this, right? And I know Cedric's a little partial and everything, but I need to hear it from you directly. I really love the name Louisiana Soul. So tell me why you guys chose that particular name.
I have to give all the credit for that to Mike. That is just a name that has stuck, and I asked him too. They tell him why.
Just like so, like when we just like miss home, and that like Louisiana is part of me. So it's like no matter what, no matter where I go, where I live in the world, somebody's always gonna ask me because of they say we got an accent, but whatever. But they know we're not from where we're at, Even here in Texas, people know like we're not from there and they want to know. And so Louisiana is always going to be a part of my life, It's in me. It's in my soul. So, and it's just like we missed home, and there's a big backstory on the whole seasoning thing, and it's just, I don't know, part of us. It's in my soul.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it.
So Mike, if I'm understanding things correctly, you're the cook. And not to say that you both don't cook, but you're the featured cook. How about we say it like that? So
somebody's got some anxiety problems. She can talk, but she don't like people looking at her, I guess.
Well, Amber, you're a beautiful woman.
Yes.
My daughter is also named Amber, so I feel an instant affinity to you. So you just keep turning that camera on and showing up, because I have no doubt you're blessing a lot of people.
Thank you.
But Mike, I want to ask you, have you always been a good cook? And if so, where did you learn to cook?
So like, I guess I've always been decent, I guess. It always tastes good to me anyway. Hey, everybody, right? I can cook grilled cheese anyway. But it's, I guess like growing up, like my grandmother, my mama's mom, we'd go to her house and like before school sometimes, you know, and my grandma would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner already cooked. It's 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm like, my mom, like, how you get all this food cooked? Well, she always used to work at a donut shop before, you know. So she'd get up 2, 3 in the morning, cook all the food, and she'd say it's done. Now I can go take a nap, right? So I guess like watching her sometimes, and then well, really all the time, watching my mom. And I wouldn't say like I never really cooked like when I was in my teens, you know, here and there, but I just watched a lot and I took mental notes, you know, just a sponge, just absorb. You don't have to, you know, actually do it to absorb it. Just be attentive. And that's what I would do. Just watch my mom cook, ask questions here and there, watch my uncles, you know, my grandma, my great grandma, everybody. That's the thing in Louisiana, you know, even on weekends. Hey, y'all coming over? Yeah, we just ain't sitting here. Somebody's got a pot stacking out there, and we, you know, it's going down. We're gonna eat for sure, no matter what. If you go to somebody's house, and like we always cook a lot of food, and people ask us why. I said, well, you never know who's gonna come over, and like we don't ever want to be those people when they walk in and it smells good, and you're like, well, we don't have enough. You know, it's just, I don't know, we just.
This is our culture together. That's been the hardest part about the pandemic is like it's in our culture to gather.
Yeah, to gather, man.
My mother-in-law always say if you starve, it's your own fault because the food's here. She says that every time. You know, it's your fault. Like the food's in the kitchen, go get it. So I think that's another reason of the videos. You know, because we can't gather as we used to in this time. So it's something else to hang on to. Yeah,
connect with all our people anyway, you know. And a lot of our family, you know, tell us, hey, we saw your video, or they're commenting on it, you know, and so it's just another way to be in touch.
It definitely is. So when we tune in to, and of course now I have to start following your page, and two, on Facebook, you know, there's a notification that you can put on there when you watch people's lives that say notify me when they go live.
Yeah.
So I will be doing that, so that way I will know when you guys go live. But tell us, what will we experience? Like, what is the show? I can definitely tell there's a lot of family, right? It's a lot about family and food, but what else?
There is so many elements. Is no shortcuts. You know, food takes time, but it's not as difficult as people think it is all the time. There's good music. A lot of people love the music in the background. They love to see the kids helping or coming in and out. They love to see real, you know. So you can get a little bit of everything. And sometimes I gotta shoo Xavier out the kitchen or shush him or the doorbell rings. So you get an element of we're real people, we're showing you how to get lost in your pots. Michael says it all the time. Turn your music on, get lost in your pot, and in the end, you have a good meal.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. So, Amber, I said earlier, you know, what I noticed on the show is you started up and you'll say, hey, we're live and you know, Mike's gonna come when we get more people here, and then all of a sudden you start seeing your numbers going up and people are there. But you're doing the commentary. I remember one show where you were in the cameras, like a back and forth between who's going to be in front of the camera.
Yeah. A lot of people will say, well, where you at? Why are you hiding? And then I'll come in like, hey, they want to say my name or tell me happy birthday. And I'm trying to read the comments and interact with the following. And then another person will say, move your head out the way. We can't see what he's doing. So I'm like, I'm going to move out the way briefly, but I'll come back. So we're balancing it. And I think the biggest thing we learned in the beginning, I was doing the cooking and we didn't get the response. So when Mike started cooking, and I think like the culture in Louisiana, men really do cook, you know, but it's majority of them, like they'll have their pots and they're outdoors, you know, cooking. But they like to see that, and they'll say, you're blessed. Like, you know, he went to work today and he's cooking. It's been like that we've been together for almost 18 years. And if he's worked a 12-hour day, he'll say, take this out. And I'll cook it when I get home. Like, yes.
She cooks really good though. She
You know,
does.
but
She cooked tonight.
I do get behind the pots, you know, if I need to. But if he's saying, "Hey, take this out and I'll cook it when I get home," okay.
No argument.
Amber, you said you don't have to tell me twice.
Right. No arguments there.
Everything that I know how to do in the kitchen, he's taught me. You know, my dad taught me how to do some simple things when I was younger, but Michael taught me. I'm telling you, he come home from work one day and he's like, "You have to show me what you're doing," because I could smother some meat, but he's like, "Where is the gravy? Where's the gravy?" And I was like, "I don't know what I'm doing wrong." He's like, "Come show me what you're doing." Like he had to teach me. He's like, "Cause I need some gravy with my food." So, I mean, he's taught me well. And my fried chicken, I think it beats his now.
So Amber, I'll actually help you with that. So I'm gonna give you my address after the show, and you and Mike both. Yeah, you both send me some.
I got you. We need an unbiased person to say
exactly.
Yes.
And I'm willing to sacrifice to do that for you.
Right.
See, thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
For the team. Okay, you're gonna take over the team, right?
Yeah. Don't worry about the other founders. Don't worry about them. I got you.
You know, Mike, you're a bad brother, man. You work a 12-hour shift and you still come home and cook and take care of your family. So, you know, I gotta ask you. Obviously, you have a huge repertoire, but for you personally, what's your favorite dish to make?
Really, I like all dishes, but I guess like I like crawfish and gumbo. Really, I don't know, like, well, any dish where I can feed somebody else, like where there's enough, where if 10 people show up and I can sit there, like I get joy out of watching somebody eat, just seeing their face and like it doesn't matter. Like you even right now, you can sit here and think about something that you really enjoy, like you crave, and just to have somebody eat your food and tell you how good it is, and for their belly to be full and for their soul to be happy, right? It's so fulfilling to eat, right? And to eat something good and just any meal that somebody enjoys and where we can have conversation, you know.
Well, my favorite is his crawfish and his gumbo.
Well, I love gumbo, so y'all can send me some of that.
All the meals.
and so
You want the fried chicken, the gumbo.
Look, I'll even skip the fried chicken for the gumbo. It's funny because I used to get a chance to travel to Louisiana a lot back in the day when traveling was appropriate. And every time I went, I always wanted gumbo, and I just feel like I've been deprived. So yeah, I'll take some gumbo.
We gonna hook you up.
Yep.
So, you know, and we're going to talk about your seasoning and how people can get that. Before we go into that, can someone book you for like virtual cooking experiences?
Yes.
That's something we recently did.
We did a virtual cooking class for a group of friends, and I mean, we gave them meal options, and they substituted what they wanted, what they didn't. We did a Zoom, and I mean, we had a good old time in there.
It was great. It was actually Cedric hooked us up with some of his folks, and some of them were experienced, you know, kind of, but I mean, it was really like I got so Amber, she's like, should we start like with it already, you know, chopped up and this and that? And I was like, I don't know, and you know what? We're glad we showed them how to chop up vegetables. They were like, can you show me how to turn it again? And I'm like,
you never know what level somebody's on, but everybody knows, regardless whether you're a beginner or you're a pro, like we have people that say, I'm 80 years old and you taught me something new today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we're in our 30s and they're like, well, how are you cooking like this? And I've never seen this before. We can all learn something from someone, whether it's cooking or it's something it's business related. You can learn something from, you know, anyone.
Well, that is awesome. So let me say this, and then I'm going to turn it over to Nicole. The people that you guys did the virtual event for, the virtual cooking experience, they thoroughly enjoyed
Oh my gosh.
that session. And so, folks, if you're looking to have something different, a little bit different with your friends or even with your family, you want a virtual cooking experience, I'm telling you, you won't go wrong with Louisiana Soul. And our ambassadors can go ahead and put in their link to their website so that people can connect with them.
Yeah, lasoulseasoning.com or Louisiana Soul Seasoning at Gmail. You can inquire about virtual cooking classes.
You know what? I want to touch on that with Cedric. It was humbling to see like these group of people, like when they were coming on to the Zoom, like it had been so long since they seen each other, and we were just like the people on the outside, and they were just so excited and just so.
The kids were cooking.
Man, it was heartwarming, and it's kind of sad to say that 2020 did this to us, but for us to be able to help people and families, you know, or a group of friends to get back together, and they're talking and stuff, and how are you doing over there? And they're laughing and cutting up because one can't do something or the other one
in separate homes, but they were happy.
We're just happy to be able to bring that to people, you know, and to help them get back to make it feel normal again, right? And that's what everybody wants. Just a sense of normalcy, and same thing with our videos. You know, like people, they say, you know, we've been watching your videos for weeks, and I'm like, man, what are y'all? Why? But when you sit there and think about it, like, what else? You know, these people are cooped up in their house, and it's like they're like this one lady. She's like, y'all just feel like family. And we're talking to her. We called her on Facebook on the video thing, and she's crying on the phone. You know, she's like, y'all just don't know what y'all do for me. You know, it's we're just glad we can do it, you know.
Awesome.
That's amazing, amazing. And one thing I love what you're saying, and we hear this kind of theme when we talk to our successful entrepreneurs, is it's more than just the service. It's more than just the product. You go deeper into why you're doing what you're doing. So you guys are cooking, but you're giving people a sense of home. You're giving people a sense of hope. It goes deeper than just, you know, what you're throwing up on the pots. And it's right. Just a great thing. And I feel your passion. So if I had a few of your clients just sitting here right now, what would they say about you and your service?
I hope that they would say that we take their best interests at heart, and if they tasted the food, if they're eating the food, hopefully they'd be speechless. Most people are busy eating and not talking.
I think they would say that we're down to earth. You know, we try to be just normal people. We don't try to get all these graphics in the videos and be all hoopla. And, you know, it's just, we try to make it simple. We're just normal folks. And it's, you know, I think they would say that we're just good people, I would hope. That we just try to be
us,
right? Yeah.
I love it.
So my next question is one Cedric had mentioned at the beginning of the show. We have a membership program, and so one of our members asked, when I was sharing with them who was going to be on our show this week, wanted to ask a question about working together as spouses. So how have you guys managed to do that and do that successfully?
We enjoy each other's company. Yeah. I think our biggest argument in 18 years is when we don't have enough time together. Like it might sound cliche, but it's like we mesh well, you know, like I know when to move out the way. I know when I'm talking too much. Like we can read each other and, you know, we know what to do. But we just enjoy each other's company. And it's not the entire day. Right. So it's not overkill. So it's only until he comes home from work. So I think that's why it goes so well.
I think too, like in our relationship, we we're so worried about trying to make each other happy outside of what, the cooking thing. It's just, ever since we've been together, I'm always trying to do things to make her happy, and she's doing the same for me. It's like over our vacation, I told my children, they were like, "Dad, why don't you ride the roller coasters?" Well, it's not my thing, like I don't like going. No, there ain't no brakes on this thing, okay? But I ride them, right? And they're like, why you do that? So sometimes in life, to make somebody else happy, you have to do something that you don't want to do.
Or don't necessarily like to do.
So, and that's just how I live my life for my wife. It don't matter what it is. There's a lot of things that I probably don't like to do, but I do it anyway because I know it's going to make her happy. And how long is it actually going to take anyway? Just get it out the way. She's going to be happy. And then she's gonna be doing the same thing, trying to one up me, And it's always, I say, a struggle to make each other happy.
It's not really a struggle.
I think that's why we've been together.
It's a reciprocation of what he does, you do, in returon.
That's just why we've been together so long.
No.
I can feel it.
I feel it. You helping people out there.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people.
That's what I say. That's the only reason she's with me, because I cook good and she greedy. How you get the greedy girl? The greedy girls or the pretty ones, one or the other. Whichever one it is, but you gonna get one of them.
Well, they used to say the way to a man's heart was his belly. Maybe it's the reverse, right?
That's what I say all the time in my videos.
Especially if you're from Lake Charles, I told him,
Louisiana,
I don't want a ring. I don't want a flower. Come February, that is invested into crawfish.
Crawfish, pink and red, shrimp and crawfish. I need no flowers.
Oh, that is so
I love it. I love it.
But it's really nice because you're modeling that, right? Putting the needs of your partner first. And so there are a lot of entrepreneurs that are trying to figure out how to mesh that with their mates. So let me ask you this then. What has been your biggest challenge during your entrepreneurial journey?
Patience.
Yeah.
Because we started our season in 2017. It was a scary thing to do, I didn't feel like we were ready financially, but Michael is very ambitious, and he was like, if we don't do it now, because if you don't start now, then you wait later, then you're gonna have to wait for that building process. You have to be patient and know that you're not gonna be successful overnight. It's taken us 3 years to see a return in our business.
Yeah.
So patience and time management is key.
The biggest thing too is like Steve Harvey said, something like
jump.
Yeah, the hardest thing to do is take that to jump when you're on the edge, when you don't think you're not gonna land on anything, right? So even moving forward, we're like wanting to go bigger and do this and advertise more. In anything, you're like, man, like the fear of failing, right, will make you succeed. So the more fear you have in failing, more than likely, the more you will succeed, because you're afraid to fail. And that's my thing. I'm just afraid to fail. So when I feel like I'm failing, I'm trying harder and harder and harder. So if you got a large fear of failing, then you will be very successful.
Oh, Mike, you just dropped so many gems in that last bit. I might have to go back and watch that again. Because what you're really talking about is persistence, and it's a necessary character quality for entrepreneurs to have, the ability to keep on keeping on. But help me understand this, right? So what differentiates your show, your virtual cooking show, from others that are online? So what's the secret sauce for you that makes your show special?
I think just the way we interact. We're not putting on. We're not trying to be somebody. Some people we're not. You're gonna see just two normal people in a great loving relationship. Like what we the way we interact with each other is you're gonna see real life, you know. And a lot of these other people are hoopla and making big noise, you know. They're trying to portray something, you know. And I think you're gonna get the down home, the Southern soul love. Like you're gonna be pulled in, like a lot of our viewers, you know, tell us like our voices are soothing. I guess I don't know, but that's what they say. Like some people, like it's crazy how many messages we get. People say they just love the way how calm we are and how we just flow. You know, it's just.
And I don't think
like
to down like what anybody else does. Like I wouldn't say like, you know, what they're doing is bad. It's just different, you know, like the vibe of our show. Like I think people expect us being in our 30s, like we're not listening to, you know, any kind of vulgar music. Like we have a family feel and we're not spewing, you know, any kind of profanities or, you know, we're not being obnoxious. We're just being, you know, just low key. And, you know, there's an audience for everybody, you know. There's a vibe for everybody. So people are gonna gravitate towards
what they like,
what matches them, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna jump in right quick because one of the things I want to say here is I love that question, Damien. One of the things that I take away from the show that I like, it's a different touch, is you guys are not just talking about the food that you're cooking, but you may go buy a new dish, meaning a pot or a pan or a spatula or something, right, at the grocery store, and you explain to the audience, hey, I bought this today and I like it because of this reason and all this type of stuff. So you're giving people other options of what to use and how to use it and all that type of stuff.
You gotta have a good pot.
Like while we're cooking, we even try to educate people on different cuts of meat and why you buy this one or why you buy that one or what meat should smell like, right? People ask like some of the smallest questions of like, how do you pick your vegetables? You know, like just all kind of stuff. And like we just try to, like we don't know everything, but I try to educate myself, and so does she on things like that, where like how to cook a steak, right? How to know it's cooked a certain way, where you put your finger like this, right? Like this is rare, medium well. Like you do like this, you can feel how hard the steak is, right? And you can do that with any protein. And people were like amazed, like I ain't never seen that before.
Do it again.
Yeah, do it again. Do it again. But we try to educate our viewers, not just on cooking, but why you're cooking it this way and why you should use these certain types of proteins or meats or seasonings or just things like that. We're trying to further in depth educate them about the food, you know.
Awesome.
That's so good.
And I know one of the things you don't have that's not on our list, but I want to make sure that we get it just because I know about it and I want you to talk about it. Talk about the seasoning mixes that you have.
We have 3. We have an all-purpose seasoning blend. We have a sweet heat barbecue rub, and we have Cajun lemon pepper. Our all-purpose is, you know, like it is all-purpose. It's not a seasoning where you have to add to it. It is an all-purpose, and our Cajun lemon pepper is a really big seller. Like it's one of a kind. It's not your typical lemon pepper.
Yeah, my guy. So we have a co-packer that bottles it and blends it for us, right? But we did all the recipes in house, tested them, cooked with them forever,
and that was a process.
But so my guy, when I sent it to him, his name's Gabe. He's like, Michael, you know all these things you have in here, it's going to be really expensive. I said, Gabriel, I know, but that's what I want. He's like, well, you can take this out and substitute it for this. I said, yeah. So like I use, it's called chili piquin, which is like a certain type of pepper, right? It's like, well, you could take that out and we could drop the price, you know, and just put red pepper, cayenne pepper in it. I said, well, what does cayenne pepper taste like, Gabe? Well, it's hot. I said, well,
that's not what we want.
It's not what I want. Chili piquin has a very distinct flavor, and it shines through. And that's what people find in our seasonings is it's not. They're very complex, but they're also, you know, savory. And I don't know, like we're not gonna
make something cheap.
Cheap just to make money. And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs or business people, where they start to fail. Don't ever substitute quality, like trying to make money. Don't ever say, well, man, I could do it cheaper. I could do this. And then you end up cutting corners, and then people start to complain, or maybe not, you might, but to me, I would never sacrifice quality to make money. I'd rather break even than to make a low grade product, So we take a lot of time and effort and put a lot of stuff into it.
And we cooked with everything. Like we cooked every protein, we cooked eggs, we cooked everything to make sure that the recipes we came up with, and even our kids were involved in making the seasonings.
I love that. That is awesome. It's definitely a family affair. And you mentioned, you talked about just the ability to even fail as an entrepreneur, but to keep moving on. And as entrepreneurs, we all fail one time or another, some more times than we want to. So tell us about like one of the failures that you've had and the lessons you've learned from it and how you move forward.
This question has got me stumped.
So this is what I think. So I think I wouldn't say like a failure, but like having an expectation for something and you're not reaching that expectation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you feel like you failed, but like I said earlier, if you have a large fear of failure, then you will succeed. So like when our expectations don't get met in some things, then like I guess we learn. I don't know. Like I don't set my expectations lower. I set them higher, but I try to figure out how can I meet my expectations. Where did I go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about failing. It's about learning from it, but also figuring out how to succeed from it. Like I guess that's learning from it. But like even like if it didn't work the first time, try it again. You just might have did it one thing wrong, right? That one, if it's in your head that one thing can be successful, and maybe it just didn't work because of one thing, just go back to it. You're gonna figure it out. It's just like hamburgers, right? So McDonald's made a hamburger and Burger King made a hamburger, and maybe one of them, and they might have failed 1,000 times and thought that they were messing it up, but they wasn't failing. They just learned how to make it right. Like what's his name that invented the light bulb? He didn't right? Mm-hmm. So he said he didn't fail at making the light bulb or something, but he figured out how not to make 10,000 light bulbs, right? Mm-hmm. He made one that worked, and that's all that matters. So the man took and made 10,000 light bulbs that didn't work, but he knew that he was going to make it work, and he did, right? And they all still look the same, right? It's a light bulb, right? Mm-hmm. So just because it doesn't work the first time and that idea doesn't mean it's not going to work. Just got to keep trying.
Keep self-adjusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
I just loved you both. I mean, your authenticity, your heart, your passion for your food, your passion for people, your passion for family, all of it's so genuine and so authentic. So here's, I love this question I'm going to ask you. You'll probably love it too. So if there were to be a book that was written about you, what would the title be? And what would be said on the back of the book, excuse me, in the book summary?
We was talking about this earlier.
I think about Michael, I think is resilient and going far for those around him. Just, able to adapt. That's all I have.
So Michael, what would you name the book? What would be the title of your book?
So I would have a book for my wife. So and then the pride, right? So I'm the lion, right? I'm the male, and she's the lioness. And the lioness fights all the battles, gets all the food, makes everything happen. And I'm just there, right? And I think that's how, and our book would be like how the lioness maintains the pride, right? And on the back of the book, how strong a woman can be for your family, and like she does so much. Like people just don't know, you know. Like she's out there grinding, protecting us, making sure everything's right, you know. And it's just
That is awesome. That is awesome. That's a great tribute to your wife there, Mike. That's good points. But I want to thank you guys, first of all, for coming on the show. I know it's taking time away from your family, so we appreciate you coming on the show. Folks, you've learned a lot. You've heard a lot from Mike and Amber tonight with Louisiana Soul Seasoning. The links are in the comments, folks. Go click on those. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy the seasonings. Go friend them on Facebook. You're going to enjoy watching them cook. And it may even make you cook even more. So again, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. So Angela, real quick, we're going to wrap up with our Entrepreneur of the Month process. Tell us a little bit about that.
So guys, as we've been talking about since last month, that here at the BEI, we really want to celebrate entrepreneurs that's getting it right. You know, so often you hear people talking about the businesses that are getting it wrong, and it's just common nature to ignore those who are doing it right. But at BEI, we want to do it a little different. So we're asking you, our viewers, those who follow us on our Facebook page, and if you're not already doing that, please feel free to go to Black Entrepreneurs Institute Facebook page, but shout out, tag businesses that you're having positive experiences with, that their products, their delivery is on point, great customer service. But let's just celebrate businesses that's doing it right. From there, what we're going to do is use it as an opportunity to shout out and recognize publicly on our show and our platform these businesses. Because again, we're all about building up one another, encouraging one another, and also the elevation of mindset and money. And so again, businesses that are getting it right, go to our Facebook page. Also, you can put comments in today's show thread, tag us and tell us about those businesses.
Well, that is awesome. You know, it's recognizing when people are doing good things is something that makes them want to do even greater things, right? A lot of times we hear when somebody's not doing something right, we're quick to say we're going to put in a bad review. But what we want to do is recognize those businesses who are doing it right. They're getting it right every day when you walk in. So do that for us, and then we're going to help recognize those companies. So Damien, Dr. Nick, Angela, any last words in our last minute? Well, not Damien. Angela.
Hey, I got one quick thing. I just want Mike and Amber to know that I am seeing some of the comments in the thread, and people are going online now buying seasoning.
Thank you so much. We appreciate the support.
Yeah, thank you.
It's our pleasure.
That is awesome. Dr. Nick, anything?
I think you guys even inspired me. I'm not one to be in the kitchen all the time, but now I'm a little bit motivated. I'm a little bit motivated to get in the kitchen and get the pots going.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming.
Awesome. Damien, 10 seconds.
So all I'm saying is that I'm all over the Cajun lemon pepper. When you said that, I felt my heart flutter. So I'm having that tonight.
All right.
Awesome. Well, again, folks, we want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Stay tuned for the candle lighting show. And we know that at Empower Living, we offer a lot of value. So make sure you tune into our Facebook page and add value to somebody else. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your evening and have a great rest of your week.
Thank y'all.